Exercises for snow shoveling safety. We got hit hard with a lot of snow today. So if you're like me, your workout is probably going to be shoveling snow. We want to make sure that we're setting ourselves up for success for the snow shoveling workout and preparing your body for the specific demands that are going to be placed on it. So we want to think about exercises that help us with the strength in the motions, the movements we're going to be doing. Thinking about dynamic stretches before we go outside and shovel snow, and then thinking about those static cool down stretches that we're going to do when we come back in from shoveling snow, so we don't have that tension. We want to make sure that we recover properly. So I'm going to walk you through some exercises you can do to prepare your body for those demands that we're going to be placing on it when we go outside to shovel all that heavy snow. So let's talk about some strength exercises you can do. And realistically, with strength, you want to make sure you're doing these exercises well in advance of the winter season, okay? So these exercises are going to mimic the movements we do when we shovel snow. So this kind of movement. All right, so we're working on things like lower body. We're working on core strength. Maybe even things like balance, back. So some exercises you can do. One, a row. This is where we're working our back muscles. I'm just going to take a weight. I'm going to set up in a split stance position. I'm going to take the weight in the opposite side of the front leg, and from here I'm going to sweep back, leading with the elbow, and perform a row. Here I'm working my lats. And you can see that I have to stabilize and use core strength when I'm performing this row versus maybe doing it supported, okay? You can always start out with that supported variation, but here, since we're working on that movement we would be doing outside, we want to make sure we've got that balance and stability. So for the row, you can see I'm sweeping back, leading with the elbow, and I'm not coming straight up and pinching. Sweep, sweep. And I like the single arm variation because when we're outside shoveling, we're working with one side, right? We're working with one side. So if you are always working with the same side shoveling, make sure you're switching which side you're shoveling with, so you don't fatigue and work and get some muscular imbalances as well. So a row, great exercise to do to prepare yourself for that winter season. Another exercise would be lunges, forward lunges, reverse lunges. We got to work our quadriceps, we got to work our glutes and hamstrings. So for this one, I'm going to hold my weights in both hands. To work glutes and hamstrings, you're going to do a reverse lunge. So I take a nice big step back, and here I have a forward lean. Okay, got my glute in line with my knee, and then I come up and repeat. And I would stay on one side for all your reps here to work on building strength, and then switch it out and go to the other side. So that reverse lunge is going to hit your glutes and hamstrings, but then we also want to work quadriceps as well. So quadricep, we're going to do a forward lunge, and for this one, you come forward. We create a 90-degree angle, and you can see my body's upright for this one. And then stand back up. Again, doing all reps on one side before switching to the other. And you can see when I come back up to standing that I have to have good posture, all right? And I come back up to standing from that, shoulders right over hips. I lock it in. I'm not losing my balance there. We need to think about core strength and balance when it comes to shoveling snow. Another exercise you want to do is a Romanian deadlift. For this exercise, I've got both weights, one weight in each hand. And to properly perform the Romanian deadlift, it's a hinge movement. So we're going to be sending our hips back, and our chest, our torso is going to come forward. So it's going to look like this. Feel that stretch in your glutes and hamstrings, and then come back up. I like the cue of bringing my chest forward, because what I see a lot with Romanian deadlifts is that we turn it into a squat and we start doing this. So the difference here is that it's a hinge and we bring our torso forward. At the same time, we need to make sure that we don't have this forward flex position with the shoulders, because if that happens, then we're lifting with the back. And when we're shoveling snow, we want to make sure we're lifting with the lower body, strengthening the glutes and hamstrings versus bending over and lifting that way. Okay, so set yourself up for success. Start with good posture. Think about squeezing something in your armpits. Hinge. Don't have any forward flexion here. And then back up. Okay, just some cues for Romanian deadlift. That's going to strengthen glutes and hamstrings. Another one, exercise that you can incorporate that mimics those movements we're doing when shoveling snow is a squat to a chop, I guess we can call that. So when we're shoveling snow, we don't want to just throw the snow around. When we get it, we don't want to just twist our body. It's better to move your whole body. So think of a pivot movement. So a pivot movement where we're pivoting like this. Okay, so an exercise you can do would be a squat to chop. I'm just going to hold my weight in front, squat down as if I'm getting down there to pick up that heavy snow, and then pivot. You can send the weight out too. So here we're working chest and fronts of our shoulders. Back down, twist, and again, both sides. Down, pivot, move the whole body. So those are some exercises you can incorporate into your strength routine. Okay, so you got a row, an RDO, a lunge, a squat to chop. And certainly those are not all the exercises. There are more, but those are just some essential ones for shoveling snow. Now let's talk about what you should do prior to going out in the cold to shovel snow, okay? Dynamic stretches. Here, we're getting the blood flow. We're getting the muscles warm. You don't want to go outside with cold muscles into cold snow. You're going to set yourself up for some type of injury. So we want to make sure our muscles are nice and warm. So again, we're going to be choosing exercises that mimic that movement pattern we're going to be doing, but we're going to do them dynamically, which means we're going to not hold the stretch. We're going to move through the stretch. So some exercises you would do, and this is one you might not think about, but we want to make sure we're warming up our wrists. So just some simple wrist circles in both directions. You got to think about gripping onto that shovel in the different ways you're holding onto the shovel. That affects our wrists. So warm those wrists up. Another exercise, arm swings. Arm swings going backwards, forward. So here we're opening up the chest and then also stretching the upper back. Again, you want to do this for a good 20, 30 seconds, forward and back. And then also thinking about shoulders. So big arm circles, forward and backwards with these also. Good 20 to 30 seconds there and get that blood flowing. Lunges, so talking about lower body lunges, this time I would say maybe do some walking lunges. If you got a hallway in your house, up and down the hallway, warm up that lower body. Again, mimicking that movement you're going to be doing. Getting down low, walking all along the sidewalk there. Along with lunges, working the lower body, we need to think about hamstrings. You're going to be using your hamstrings quite a lot when you're shoveling snow. So a hamstring scoop. For this exercise, you're going to be taking a foot out, putting the heel in the ground, and then you're going to be scooping as if you're picking up water and throwing it. Breathe in and out. Okay, and these you can also do walking up and down the hallway and switch out your legs. You can do that as well. That's going to help to warm up those hamstrings. Another exercise would be, we got to think about calves too. So you can do standing calf raises, and this is also going to warm up your ankles. But another one would be a down dog. We just want to make sure we're doing this dynamically. Okay, so you think of down dog, you think of a static stretch, but here I'm going to do it a little more dynamically. So popping up into down dog, and if your heels don't hit the ground, that's fine. But all we're going to do is just move through it. Bending the knees, bringing the blood flow there. Getting some calf work and maybe some ankle work in there. And then back down. And then last, maybe do some marches. Maybe jog in place. Again, getting the body warmed up. Getting the blood flowing. Get your arms moving. warming up the whole body, okay? Dynamic stretches, dynamic exercises. Get your body warmed up before you go out into the cold, before you start shoveling snow. And then we got to think about what we do when we come back inside from shoveling snow. So here we're doing the static stretches. Our body's already nice and warmed up. So now we want to do static stretches, meaning we're holding the stretch in one position for a good 10 to 20 seconds. This is going to help to relax your muscles and reduce any stiffness or tension you're going to feel from a long day of shoveling heavy snow. Okay, so some exercises here for static stretching when you come back inside. Maybe stretching out the hip flexors, so coming down to the ground in a kneeling position, single kneeling position. And then what I'm going to do is press forward with my hips. Press into that. Press, press, press. Feel that stretch along the hip flexors. You might also just take your arms up and look up. Get a good stretch here and hold it. And then back down. And do that a couple times and then repeat on the other side. Piriformis stretch. I like to do this one seated. So this is a good stretch for glutes, for low back. So in a seated position, got my feet out in front of me. I'm just going to take one ankle over top of my knee. And then I'm going to just simply lean forward until I feel that stretch. And go only to where you're comfortable. Just lean forward into it. And hold it for a good 10 to 20 seconds. And repeat on the other side. It's a great exercise too for folks who sit a lot. Okay, good stretch for that also. Hamstring stretch. So going back to those hamstring scoops, similar idea. So just like the hamstring scoop, we can do these seated. And I can take one foot out and just lean forward into it. Lean forward as far as you can and then repeat the other side. Same thing. Stretch. You can do those lying on the floor. So lying on the floor, you can do this also and just bring a leg up and reach behind your calf muscle and just kind of gently bring it into you. You can put a resistance band over your feet and pull down, and here you're also going to be getting a good calf stretch. Doing that on both sides. We can't forget our chest muscles. Again, we have a lot of heavy load in the front of our body when we're shoveling constantly. So we have lots of tension that we're building here. So we want to make sure that we're stretching out our pecs, our chest. You can do this a number of ways. Two ways I like to do it is just using a lacrosse ball or a massage ball and just massaging this area, okay? Just to kind of loosen things up. But also, another exercise is called a doorway pec stretch. And for this one, if I've got my doorway here, I'm going to take my arm up like I'm swearing myself in, okay? I'm going to press this part of my arm into the doorway. I'm going to take a step forward and lean. So you can see here, if I'm up against the doorway, I lean forward. I'm stretching across here, and I'm going to hold it for 10 to 20 seconds. Hold it, and then come back, and then do it again. Do it on both sides, all right? Of course, we have to think about our backs too. There's going to have a lot of pressure in your low back, especially if you're not performing some of these things correctly and you're shoveling snow and you're rounding the back and working from that low back. That's why that exercise like the RDL is a really important one to get down, because it teaches us to use the strength in our lower body versus putting that pressure on the low back. So, so low back exercises would be a supine twist. Supine twist is good for your lower back. Coming down to the ground, laying all the way down. You're going to put your arms out in a T. You're going to bring one leg up, bring it close to your chest, and then slowly rotate it over to the opposite side of the arm that's extended in that T. And then as you bring your knee down, look over at your hand. Keep your shoulders on the ground and come over as far as you're able to and hold it there. And then repeat that on the other side. So out in the T, bring the arm up, hold on to my knee, gently twist. As I twist, keeping both shoulders on the ground, I'm going to look over at my arm. And then make sure you're breathing through these as well, holding for 10 to 20 seconds. So that's a good one for low back. Another good one for low back is cat-cow. So if you do a lot of yoga, you're already familiar with this one. Cat-cow, I'm coming down onto all fours. Got my knees right under hips. I got my shoulders right over palms. And from here, I'm just going to look up, press into the ground. Look up, look up, look up. Get that tilt. And then press into the ground and think about lifting the belly button up. And exhale. And then repeat that. You're going to hold it. And then go in, press up. And hold that as well. So that's just going to help you to stretch out that lower back. It feels very gentle. And then a final one I would do, and this is something I do at the end of even my musical practice sessions, is a child's pose. It's really a great way to end the session. It works everything, stretches everything out, and it really helps you to just kind of calm your whole self down from mind to body, and also focus on breathing. Okay, so here for child's pose, I'm just going to be sitting my glutes back in between my feet, and then just simply walk it forward as far as I'm able to. Walk it forward, walk it forward. You feel that stretch all along your low back, all through all your muscles really, and then hold it here. Now if you can't quite get your head to the ground, you can use a prop like a yoga block, and when you come out you can just lay your forehead on that, okay? And as you get more mobile into this, then you can remove that yoga block and rest gently on the ground here. Hold it. Breathe through that, being very mindful. Great way to end that static stretching session. So I hope all of these different exercises, all of these dynamic and static stretches help you to stay safe during the winter season as you're going outside and shoveling snow. It's a very demanding exercise. It is a workout in itself, and we should prepare ourselves, prepare our bodies for those demands being placed on it this winter season as we go outside and shovel all that snow. So I hope this helps you, and I hope it helps you to stay safe this winter and feel great and take care of yourself, right? Let me know how this helps you.